So this guy says, I have learned this valuable lesson for a girl that gave me the friend zone speech this past Valentine's Day. I pulled back for a week and a half. It was through you I learned the concept of distance and attraction timetables, simple behavioral changes, and being less available. We still see each other once a week, which awesome. Thank you for that testimonial, first of all. But second of all, yeah, this is what I say, you guys. So again, one of the things I teach in the Introvert Dating Success Program is about the pacing of dating. And one of the things you need to do is, if you're not rushing the process, then what's going to happen is, as you're taking your time, she's going to realize that she's starting to like you more. And now she's going to want more of your time. And in order for that to happen, she has to request it. So if you're just consistent in once a week asking her out, then a good barometer for you as to where her feelings are growing is when she starts saying, hey, I know we just saw each other on Thursday, but there's something coming up on Sunday. Do you want to join me? That's an example of one way that a woman will show where her level of like for you is at. Again, I go through a bunch more of examples like that in the program itself. But yeah, as she starts to request more of your time, then that means that you're not forcing her to spend time. So think about this. Most guys are forcing text conversations. They're forcing, hey, like, I saw you yesterday. I want to see you today and tomorrow and the next day. Like, and when you do that, yes, you're not trying to force her, but it feels to her like she's now forced to sacrifice time to spend with you that she didn't, A, initially have, and B, didn't think was needed because she didn't know she was going to be dating a guy so early, and she has other commitments, job, friends, family, work, etc., right? And so when you don't ask of those things, then as she starts to like you more, and you'll literally see it. You'll see women's faces start to change about how they look at you and how they, talk to you and stuff like that, to where you start getting more confidence in things. And then she'll say, hey, we saw each other today. How about tomorrow? Hey, I know we normally see each other during the weekdays, but there's something happening Friday or Saturday. And that's the big one. But anyway, so suffice to say, yeah. So you have to leave room for women to come to you. Because as I say, if they're chasing you, they can't be replacing you. If you don't leave room for them to show that they're wanting to chase you, and you're doing all the things because you're anxious and think you got to control everything, then you're not trusting the process that she goes through to build up to where she wants to now show you that those things are necessary. So just some food for thought about that, right? He says, exactly, that pullback was all about self-reflection. The day after she gave me the speech, I had to be a little cold, a bit drift off. And see, and that's true. And that's the part where my job is basically trying to convince guys that all the things that they think they need to do to get women is actually what chases them away. I got a book on my website called No Girls For You, The Ultimate Guide to Losing the Girl of Your Dreams. It's the first book I ever wrote. And I wrote it back when I was a bad dater, and I realized, oh, these are some bad habits that I have that causes me to lose women. Maybe other guys could use this too. So that's also at the website. But yeah, like, that's one of those things where guys think it's playing games if I pull back. Oh, if I don't tell her how I feel, I'm not being honest, and therefore I'm playing games. If I don't say that I want to see her all the time or tell her my feelings, and I'm just hiding myself, and that's like, guys, you're playing the losing game. You bought into the lie that if you don't tell a woman everything and you don't try to see her or talk to her all the time, that you're a bad guy, or that you're not showing your like, and therefore you're holding back, or that if you wait 4 days to contact her after a date, even though she knows that your phone's readily available and that you're free, that you're tricking her. And like, none of that is true, because how women build up attraction is different from how guys build up attraction. And so if you're not understanding of their dating process and what they need to go through to build authentic like for you, then all you're going to see is they're playing games. No, they just do things differently. So you can choose to just be yourself and just do the things that you've been doing up to this point if it's working for you. But if it's not, consider that the ways in which you're moving about the dating world could be altered and could be changed to get better results. At the point when I was like I had my first hookup at 23, but it took me until like 25, 26 to start to be like, okay, wait, women can't all be crazy. I'm the common denominator. And so as much as I think I'm a great guy as I am, if my actions or the way that I move about in the world indicate that women don't like that, if I don't want those results, I got to change. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not at 42, I'm not the way I was at 5. If I was to be like, I should never change, I'd be acting the same way I did when I was 5 years old, and nobody would like me, And so you got to consider that personal growth is part of who you are. And when I was doing sales, I used to sell vacuum cleaner systems, right? But it was vacuums that use the water basin instead of like a bag, which is its own presentation. Short version, you guys that are using vacuums with bags, you're not cleaning your floors. Anyway, but the point is, I would have to go into houses and talk to people that bought vacuums for years. And they're in the habit of buying vacuums and are used to getting a bag at the store and sucking up all the dirt, even though it's not picking up anything, all this stuff. I have to go in there and tell them, hey, you're stupid for using a vacuum. But if I say it like that, that's not going to make them want to change. So what do we do instead? I say, hey, you know what? Up to this point, you have been operating in the only way you know. You've only been told that this is the way that you vacuum and clean your floors. But now you're coming across a new way that's more effective. And so with this new knowledge, wouldn't you as a smart person be willing to make a smart decision based on all the knowledge you now have? And so the same is true with dating. Like if you've been operating a certain way up to this point with dating, that is how you are. That is yourself. But it's only because you didn't have extra knowledge about how dating actually works, about how attraction actually works for women. So now with my stuff or other stuff on the internet, you see there's now a different way that could potentially work better. You now have new knowledge. So if part of yourself is now, instead of being like this, consider that part of being yourself means that when you come across new knowledge that looks like it works better, you're willing to at least try it out and see if it's effective. And that way, you're now open to the idea that, hey, I could try this new thing and it not work, and the old way goes, I go back to it, but at least I was open to that process. But if it works, I can now be open to doing that process because I identify as a person that is open to at least exploring and researching all things. And I found being that way, now if I tie to my ego that I'm a person that is always open to at least finding out about new things versus how I am is perfect. And that's a better way for your ego to be, because now you can say what's tied to my personality is always being open to new stuff. And the same is true with dating. And you'll only get better at dating if you realize that the way you are now can always be evolved with new knowledge. So just want to put that out there as well.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high